Did you know Halloween wasn't always about candy and costumes? Its real history is actually much darker and a little terrifying. Hey guys, welcome back to Chill Facts Daily. Today, we're diving into the spooky origins of Halloween. This holiday we all know and love for trick-or-treating and scary movies actually has a chilling past that might surprise you. From its ancient, eerie beginnings to how different cultures and religions view it today, we're about to uncover the true, darker nature of Halloween. The dark origins, Samhain. Let's go way back. Halloween's roots trace back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which was celebrated over 2,000 years ago in what is now Ireland, the UK, and northern France. But Samhain was no fun and games event. It was a festival that marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, also known as the dark half of the year. For the Celts, this time was all about death. On the night of October 31st, the Celts believed that the boundary between the living and the dead blurred, allowing ghosts and spirits to walk the earth. Fires were lit, sacrifices were made, and people wore costumes, mostly made of animal heads and skins, to ward off evil spirits. Sound creepy? It gets worse. These spirits were believed to bring sickness and ruin crops, so the Celts went to great lengths to appease them. If Halloween feels a little eerie now, imagine it back then. Talk about spooky vibes. Religious influence. The church tries to rebrand Halloween. Now, let's fast forward to when Christianity began spreading across Europe. The church didn't like Samhain's pagan origins, so they tried to rebrand it. In the 9th century, Pope Gregory III moved the Christian holiday, All Saints' Day, which honored saints and martyrs, to November 1st, and the night before became All Hallows' Eve. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's where Halloween comes from. But even though the church tried to shift Halloween into a more religious direction, many of the old Samhain traditions remained. People still believed in spirits roaming the earth, and the costumes and bonfires didn't go away. So Halloween became this weird mix of Christian and pagan traditions, with a little extra darkness hanging around. The witch craze and the fear of the occult. Now, here's where things get even darker. By the 1500s and 1600s, Halloween began to be associated with witchcraft. Europe was deep in the witch hunts, and people believed that witches and warlocks gathered on Halloween night to perform dark rituals. Witches became one of the most iconic Halloween symbols because of this. And let's be real, who isn't creeped out by a good witch story? The fear of the occult ran wild during these times, and people genuinely believed that evil forces were at play during Halloween. It wasn't just about fun costumes. Halloween was a night when people feared real danger. How other cultures view Halloween. While Halloween as we know it developed mostly in Europe and America, it's fascinating to see how other cultures have their own spin on this eerie holiday. In Mexico, there's Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, celebrated on November 1st and 2nd. But this holiday isn't about fear. It's about celebrating the lives of the dead, welcoming their spirits back with joy and color. It's much more positive, but still focused on that thin veil between the living and the dead, like Halloween. In Asia, you've got the Ghost Festival in places like China, where people honor their deceased ancestors. Similarly, it's believed that spirits roam the earth during this time, but the focus is on making offerings to ancestors instead of running from ghosts, like in Western Halloween. But no matter the country, many of these celebrations have that same underlying idea. The dead are closer than we think, and we'd better be prepared. The modern American Halloween. All right, now let's bring it to America, where Halloween really started to become what we see today. When Irish and Scottish immigrants came to the U.S. in the 1800s, they brought their Halloween traditions with them. But here's where things shifted. America embraced the spooky side, but Halloween became more about community fun. Kids went from door to door, asking for food or money, a tradition that eventually became trick-or-treating. The 20th century transformed Halloween even further into the candy and costume holiday we know today. Commercialization hit hard, and now we've got haunted houses, horror movies, and a multi-billion-dollar candy industry. But here's the question. Do you think Halloween has lost some of its dark roots? Or is there still something a little eerie about the night? Let me know in the comments. Religious views on Halloween. Interestingly, not everyone's a fan of modern Halloween. Some Christian groups see it as a celebration of evil. They don't like the focus on death, witches, and demons. Everything that Halloween seems to symbolize. Some even view it as satanic. So you'll see religious alternatives like harvest festivals popping up to give families a non-scary way to celebrate. And it's not just Christianity. Other religions, like Islam and Judaism, don't traditionally celebrate Halloween either, seeing it as having too many pagan elements. In fact, some religious groups actively discourage their followers from participating. How Halloween has changed over time. From an ancient festival of death and spirits to a kid-friendly night of candy and costumes. Pumpkin, remember, you're participating in a tradition that's over 2,000 years old and was once far darker than you'd imagine. So, the next time you're out trick-or-treating or watching a scary movie, remember that Halloween's history is much more than just fun and games. From dark rituals to modern candy culture, it's a holiday steeped in mystery and fear. What do you think? Should Halloween go back to its dark roots, or do you prefer the modern commercial version? Let me know in the comments below.